Hey everyone, you're here starting with Cody, and in today's quick video we're going to go over an issue that some customers have with the bobbin case. So let's take a closer look and see what that issue might be. But remember, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and consider supporting the channel with the super thanks down below and checking out the merchant shop. Alright, now let's go take a deeper dive and see what issues that some customers have with the Bernina jumbo bobbin case. Okay, so here we are with the Bernina big jumbo bobbin case, which is an absolutely fantastic bobbin case. It works wonderfully, but there is one issue that we have, and I'm not going to say it's an issue with the bobbin case. It's actually more or less an issue with the different types of thread that we may use in our bobbin case. And so let me talk about one of the ways we can prevent this issue that I'm alluding to with our bobbin. So what happens is we find this often when we're working with really thin thread. So this is one of our absolute favorite threads. This is Deco Bob by Wonderfil. And as you can see, we carry it in like the large cones because we use so much of it. This is amazing thread for some people use it for piecing, or at least use it in their bobbin for piecing. I use it for putting my binding on, which you see in my binding video. But we use it almost exclusively for embroidery. We use this in our bobbin for embroidery. So it's nice is it's nice and thin, and it keeps our embroidery from getting really stiff and really hard and bulky, because it is so thin. But an issue that we have with it, with our jumbo bobbins, is if we, and this doesn't happen all the time, but it happens enough. So if we fill our bobbin completely full with Deco Bob, or even sometimes Isocord, because it's such a thin thread, what happens is as we're sewing and the machine slows down and comes to a stop, the thread has a tendency to puddle and come off of our bobbin case, and that's not good. No, because then it jams up, and then you take your bobbin out and you've got all this thread kind of wrapped behind the bobbin case and everything. So when we noticed that issue, what we quickly figured out a easy way to prevent having the thread come off the bobbin while we're sewing, because what would happen is we discovered is as we ran through it and we fixed the issue once or twice, after a while it stopped happening. And that was because we used like that first 10% of that bobbin thread from our bobbin. So what we figured out is when we're working with like Deco Bob, or and sometimes Isocord, is we don't fill the bobbin 100%. So one thing to remember is we're dealing with a really thin thread. This is 80 weight, and so if we don't fill it but 90%, we still have a heck of a lot of thread on this bobbin, opposed to any traditional style bobbin. So we're not too concerned about not fully using the full capacity of our bobbin. But what we found is by only winding about 9%, it eliminated that problem with that thinner thread. So typically working with any other type of weighted thread, or even when we're working with a thinner but like a cotton thread, or a thread that kind of holds on to itself fairly well, we don't usually have that issue. It's only when we're working with really Deco Bob or like Masterpiece, or even sometimes the Isocord, and that's because you can even see here, the thread itself is just so thin and it's shiny and slippery, is it just kind of wants to fall off the bobbin, especially when we have a really full bobbin and that thread's really close to the edge. And something else to even take in consideration is our bobbin winder up on our machine, at the top of our machine, that little gizmo that you push in that touches the thread on the bobbin, that slowly pulls back as it fills up, and when it's completely full it pops back. Some machines, that little gizmo is off a little bit, so it may actually wind a bobbin more full than others. So if you're finding that when you're winding a bobbin and the little white piece, this little piece, you're finding that this little piece disengages basically to the point or at the point where the thread is almost right at the edge of the bobbin, this little guy may need to be adjusted because he may be overfilling your bobbins. And that could be another issue of why the thread's puddling off the bobbin while in the machine. But I had a customer that called and she was having that issue. So the one thing I told her to do was to, if she already had a full bobbin, to take some of that thread off, not tons of it, but take some of like a layer or two of that thread off the bobbin and then try it. Unfortunately, that wasn't her issue. Her issue was actually her bobbin case itself. So I'm gonna see if I can get a better picture. So if we look in our bobbin case, we have this metal stop spring. And this little spring is designed to help stop the bobbin from spinning when you stop sewing. And so especially if we drop this bobbin case on the floor, this can get misaligned, especially if you have tile floor. Yeah, carpet, it doesn't really matter. But sometimes this can get misaligned and that can cause issues with our bobbin. Especially if you've ever put your bobbin in the bobbin case and had it wound. Oh goodness. Had it in and had it in your machine and it's really, really tight to pull that thread. What that could mean is one, it potentially could be threaded wrong. But what that could mean is this stop spring is not where it's supposed to be and it's pushing way too much force on that bobbin. But what her issue was is if you look, we have this little, we're going to call it like a little copper wire. The phone seems to be zooming in and out too much. But there's this copper wire and it's coiled underneath this stop spring, but does come out of the top here. So hers was really bent. And what can happen is, because the thread kind of rides around that when it comes through here, and what can happen if you ever get a thread jam in here, where the thread kind of gets wrapped around, it can bend that little wire. And I think that I'm not sure of what caused hers, but that was one of her issues because when she sent me the picture, her little copper wire was not where it should be. And that was potentially causing her issue. So all these little pieces and all these little parts in the bobbin case can be replaced by your technician at your local Bernina dealer without having to replace the bobbin. There's a number of other things that can go wrong with the bobbin case, but this is not what I wanted this video to focus on. It was mainly the bobbin case with the thread. So it's mainly a thread video, I guess. I'll have another video dealing more with the bobbin case. But that's one thing I just wanted to let everybody know about different types of thread. If you're having an issue where the machine's kind of jammed, like you're sewing perfectly fine, nothing changed, your top thread's still in, everything's good to go, and you're sewing, everything's great, and then all of a sudden it kind of just jams up. And you've got like thread underneath your project, you take your bobbin and bobbin case out from underneath your machine and you're noticing all this thread puddling off your bobbin case, out of your bobbin case from your bobbin. One of the easiest ways to potentially fix this is to take some thread off of that bobbin. It potentially was too full of a bobbin for the type of thread. All right, I think that's enough for this video. I didn't want it to be too long. So you know the drill. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment in the comment section below. Let's keep them positive. And if you want to help further support the channel, there's always the merchant shop below, and there's always the new super thanks option thanks to YouTube. And as always, happy sewing.